we are introducing Ros Gold-Onwude to some in our audience, even though many of you should know she's an Emmy-winning broadcaster and New York Liberty analyst. And if you've been following, good follow in our feed, you should follow, listen, and subscribe on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, because she is covering stuff for Metal Arc Media and DraftKings in a way that's super strong. I really don't know, though, where to start with her, because you've got the WNBA season starting tomorrow. She worked for the Warriors, and she knows how New York is feeling right now, too.
We got to start with rings, because Roz won with the Warriors, and she won with the Liberty. She is in the Rings Club along with me. And
my teams win.
There you go. So, Roz.
Good to have you on the team.
Roz, the question is, if you cover a team and you win a championship, that team wins a championship, do you get to call yourself a champion?
Ooh, I think the players and, the coaching staff get to be the champions. But if the organization is classy, has that, extra bag, that extra money, they might give you a ring. But I do try to draw the line. Like, I cover a championship team. I work with the championship team. I got rings for all the Warriors championships I was with, and we'll see if I get one for the Liberty.
I don't know what that ruling is, Judge Zaslow, because Zaslow's a two-time award-winning but ring-winning champion with the Miami Heat because he was on the pregame, postgame show. He got the same ring that all the great broadcasters did.
Yeah, so I don't think Amin presented it very well to you, Roz, because he's saying if you covered a championship. I didn't cover a championship Miami Heat team. I did not cover them. I was on the broadcast, and so I was given rings. That's why, Roz, I am a two-time, not once, the Heat won 2 years in a row. I'm a two-time champion broadcaster.
Listen, I like that, line in the sand. You work for the organization, which I've done too. So I guess, you're part of a championship organization, and everyone within it gets to be a champ.
No, you're being too nice. No, she's asking the question. That should have a
question.
What
do you do with your rings? Do you wear them?
That's a very good question, Roz. Thank you for asking. I keep them in a really, really fancy case on my dresser in the master bedroom of the Zaslow mansion. And when I go to a very nice event, like, say, a wedding, like I did a couple weeks ago, I put one of those babies on. Not both of them, Roz, because that would be super gaudy. But I wear one of them.
Class, only class.
And if his house was on fire, it'd be the only thing he'd go in to get.
Well, yeah, because my kids and my wife have legs. So
right. Okay. You got to go back and help the helpless ring. It also is a nice conversation starter. Maybe I should start wearing it out.
Okay, listen, Zaz's ring is made out of tinfoil, and it leaves his finger green. He has the D-list ring. Roz, I want to ask you something, because this has been in my craw for a while. For me, they give out too many championship rings. The people who deserve them, the athlete, and the coaching staff, and maybe a select few others deserve championship rings for winning it all. When you start giving them to broadcasters and others like that, don't you think that it demeans the championship ring a little bit?
Not at all. And there's also tiers of rings. I'm very proud of the time I spent covering the Warriors especially during that time. It was, the peak of dynasty era. I was there for the very first. I worked my way up from the Santa Cruz Warriors, their G League team. Came in for the first year of Steph and Steve Kerr. Everything popped off right there. And then I saw them go from this innocent group of guys who were excited to get past the second round to literal superstars. And my last year with them was the Kevin Durant championship ring year. And there's tiers. So it's the big Mama Jama rings that cover a hand for the players and staff.
Yes.
And I remember, I think there were 2 tiers after that. There was one that was smaller but still diamond covered for other supportive staff members. And then another tier where I don't think it was as diamond covered, but it was still metal that went to another tier of staff.
Well, but this is
the
the thing.
That middle tier.
No, I
got that middle tier.
Yeah, this is the thing that's happening, though. Cody's accusing Zaz of having a tinfoil tier, and Zaz is saying, no, I've got the middle tier.
Yeah.
Okay, tinfoil is a metal.
No, that's giving middle tier.
Roz, take a look at that. Those are my rings.
Middle, that's middle, not metal. Middle tier, not metal.
Did you get a certificate of authenticity and an evaluation of price? Because mine came with that.
I have a certificate of authenticity, but I don't have evaluation of price.
I have that. I have the box with the spinner and the lights that show it. Is your name on the ring? Of course.
Yes,
of course.
You're right. Of course, Roz. Of course.
Yeah, respectfully. Sorry, I didn't mean to insult with that question, but do you have the box? Well, that was who did yours? We had Jacob the jeweler, I believe, at the time.
Maybe Jacob was busy. I don't recall that name, but the name of the jeweler is on the box. Yes, maybe I will take a picture when I get home today.
He went to Jared.
Acme is the name.
How did
Acme.
Acme is crazy. Like in the cartoons?
Yes, like in the cartoons. Yes,
Like
Acme
where they make
Jewelers.
forks?
Acme Jewelers, the Roadrunner, exploding with a stick of dynamite.
Oh my God.
From the Acme explosives
dare
company.
you.
So
They make dynamite. You got your ring. Don't let these people ask them where
I'm
their
not, Roz.
championship rings
That's right.
are. Don't let them shame
nowhere.
you.
Nowhere. They're nowhere. We'll be looking forever if I ask them where theirs are.
If you want a less gaudy place to rock your ring, because I feel like the hand is it's big and it's gaudy, you can make a chain and wear it as a necklace. And maybe that only works for girls, but I think like that's a cute way to like make use of the ring. Otherwise, I've never ever once wore the rings. They're just both in the box safely in a safe box.
As we mentioned, and congratulations, this week they officially announced you're returning as full-time color analyst for the championship-winning New York Liberty. And when it relates today to the things that you're most excited about or talking about in sports, is it the way that Golden State loses because you worked for them, the way that New York is feeling because New York and Boston is at the top of the sport, or is it the beginning of the WNBA draft? That's your employer. That's the thing that you're excited about.
I think all things New York. I'm going to lead with the New York Liberty. These are the reigning champions. I had the pleasure of covering them last season for about half the season. I did about half the games last year. We doubled down this season. I am their full-time color analyst. I'm from New York. I remember when the WNBA started. I'm from Queens. My mother took me to go see New York Liberty games. 28 years the league existed. They never won a championship. And they finally won one last season. It meant so much to me on like a personal level. And my mother's sick and, completely out of it with like Alzheimer's and stuff. I wish she could really know what's going on and that her daughter was there. I got to host the championship parade at City Hall. I just kept thinking about my mom, who changed my whole life through basketball. And so I love this team. I'm very thankful to be around them. We'll see if I get a ring for my 15 or so games of coverage last season. I don't know, but I'm really just excited either way. I'm excited for my Brooklyn summer. I'm going to have a full-time Brooklyn summer. And in connection to the Knicks, interestingly enough, I know the Liberty are owned by the owners of the Nets, the Brooklyn Nets. I am a New York Knicks fan, born and bred. It's in my blood, but respectfully. Coming to New York to cover the New York Liberty, I leave at the end of the month, should hopefully coincide with the Knicks being in the Eastern Conference Finals on their way to the finals. And I'm going to be all in the mix of it. I cannot wait. New York might explode if the Knicks, it's just... I'm ready to be in the streets with the people just
but it's
out there going.
It's sort of hard to explain. I was trying to do it through Hank Azaria yesterday. It's hard to explain to people what basketball in New York means that makes it different culturally than baseball, than football, than hockey, than any of it.
I got some answers. So New York basketball is culture, right? So like the way I came up in New York basketball, honestly, early on, my concept wasn't like I'm going to the Garden to watch a Knicks game. That was something that was so outside of my stratosphere growing up, lower class, poor in Queens. Ball was, we went to park tournaments at Kenny Anderson and Left Rack City, or we were at Kingdom or Dykeman or just street tournaments, Rucker Park, and it was holding your own. And at any level, there was so much respect for anyone who could hold their own. Like even at the park across the street from my house at PS 206, like hoops was such a big part of the culture. And we had such huge stars coming out, huge names like that. New York was the basketball factory. It has fallen off since. But like people you followed and you took pride in. In my generation, it was like Sebastian Telfair and things like that. And the women's basketball had some big names too, Epiphany Prince. So like that's how much the game is loved at all levels. Imagine now you're talking about at the pros. And New York Knicks is, the bloodline of it. The Nets got there later to Brooklyn, and that's exciting as an alternative. But when the Liberty won the championship this summer, after they won, Brooklyn was alive. People were in the streets. Police cars drove by, honked their horns at us. People were playing music in the streets, like dancing with each other, all sorts of music, everything from soca to Bad Bunny to hip hop to this and that. And it was so exciting. Like, if the Knicks do it, I'm actually afraid for safety. Like, it might be a riot.
Well, it's a good thing they're not going to do it, and your Brooklyn summer is going to be ruined the way that all the Knicks, all the Knicks seasons end in heartbeat. Obviously,
I was happy for the Celtics to have a nice emotional win there. Like, that was a pride win, and as a Knicks fan, I was happy for them. I'm not cruel. I have a big heart.
They can beat you, though. They can. I don't
know. No. I thought that was very nice for all of those nice role players to play outside themselves. Cornette, White's out there shooting a bunch of threes. They're at home. It's exciting. Let's go back to
a role player.
No, he's a star. He's a star. I really
star. You heard that, Dan? Star.
I really like Derek White, and I can go on a tangent on why I think he's such an important player to winning. But when they play the Knicks, I got a little cute there. But I was happy for them to have that moment in honor of Jason Tatum in Boston. And now let's go to New York and finish things up and move along. So, yeah.
Ros, we've known each other a long time. I've told you all along that you bury the fact that I don't feel like you promote enough that you were a high-level player. You played at Stanford for 4 years. You're all-defensive team and played for Nigeria, the national team. And you are a hooper first and foremost before you broadcast. But I did want to ask you, as we see the game has grown considerably on the women's side, how do you compare kind of playing against the elite players of your era versus the elite players today?
Well, I think, look, there's a number of players that I played with and against that are still in the league now. So it's not that far off, like, your Nneka Ogwumike's, but those are the veteran vets, the Skylar Diggins now. Like,
right.
Those are the vets of the league, but they're still the dominant in this league. I wouldn't say so much from when I played to what's happening now that there's such a difference in the quality of play. I would just say there's such a difference in the investment and eyeballs and attendance and engagement with the league. And I also think that the league on a whole is much more authentic, right? Like, everybody's, instead of like trying to present the nice girls of the WNBA, everybody's leaning into who they are. We got villains. We got all types of gender, sexuality. We got all types of like femininity styles. We got different ways to show power and beauty. We got storylines, things that carried over from college to the WNBA. Very captivating stars. Like, of course, Caitlin Clark is leading the way as far as eyeballs and attention. Angel Reese also has a captivated audience. And those are young stars that also lived up to the hype. Like, the basketball product lived up to the hype. And then players who, like, I'm excited to see more of, Asia Wilson. I think Nafisa Collier, coming off of Unrivaled in Miami with y'all, might have established herself as the next favorite for best player in the world. And with the Liberty, like, you got to check out Sabrina Ionescu and Breanna Stewart, Jonquel Jones. Like, the Liberty could run this thing back. They really could. They are so deep in talent. So,
all right.
But there's a lot of competition. It's a lot of parity in the league. So the difference is the attention. Attention and investment.
She's an incredible homer, bought and paid for by all things New York and Liberty. No! Clearly not a journalist of any kind. She's a homer saying they're going to repeat. Because she works for the team, wants a Brooklyn summer, and wants a ring for 15 games last season. 15
real
games.
ring.
Zaslow wasn't 15 games. It was midnight. It was waking up at 6
right.
a.m. He wasn't doing 15 games for the Liberty. He was
out of
12
30, though.
years.
Out of 30 last season. Mind you, these seasons are different lengths.
Are you ready to play a new game where you're the judge? Because we've got Judge Zaz here, but we want from you. You're the judge. This is either good or gold, okay? Good or gold.
Oh, I love it.
The Las Vegas Aces are clear favorites. Good or gold?
Is the good the bad?
I think gold's just better, right?
I wondered the same thing when I saw it on the sheet. I was like, good or gold? What's good and what's bad? I don't know.
Am I playing the game incorrectly?
No, I think the game as presented to you by whoever came up with it, I'm not going to name his name, not really a great game.
All right, good or gold, the Indiana Fever are clear favorites.
No.
That's just good.
Yes,
No, that's just good. Then.
Okay.
You're playing it right.
I see the flaw now.
Bro, you're playing it right, Roz.
I
Just
see.
saying no, that's how you play the
not how
game.
I
you
see
play
the flaw.
game. No.
Good is like, if it's no, that's good. If it's yes, that's gold.
See, that's the flaw.
Yeah.
Roz,
Okay.
you're playing the game
so
right. Just say yes
everyone's
or no.
a winner in this game. So
Batman
I just want to come
title
back to
game.
the Aces. I expect them to be a lot better than last season. The Asia Wilson is rested. Yeah, since you guys are Miami fans, you might have noticed that she hard launched her love and relationship with Bam Adebayo. She's happy. She launched her sneaker. She took time away from ball. Like, I think that's key. And then also Chelsea Gray, crushed Unrivaled in Miami. Won the championship, won the MVP, the finals MVP. I think they're coming back rejuvenated. I think that's a good answer. It's not gold because I still think the favorites are the New York Liberty. Fever, same thing. They have ramped up the talent and the amount of support around Caitlin Clark and, Aaliyah Boston and Kelsey Mitchell as their core big three, but they got all these vets. They're going to have to mesh. They got to get it together, but I think they could contend.
Roz,
But they are not gold.
Roz, how's Asia going to feel about Milwaukee?
That's a different game.
What you mean?
Good or gold?
Like if there's
I mean,
moves,
if there's a
moves.
move,
You know what he
Giannis
means.
is available. He's interested.
You know what he
all of a
means.
sudden,
I think
Bam
you support-
Adebayo
you
out
Certain
that
freaky
way.
little
I'm one of
Greekies.
those
He's not coming to
girlies-
305.
I'm one of those girlies that believe, you support your man.
So
You know what I'm
PJ,
saying? If
okay,
he
got
has
it.
to make a move, then that's what she'll be. But Miami is, a sweet life.
Good or gold, Asia Wilson is better than Bam Adebayo.
Oh, she's more decorated. I think is she more? Yes, she's more decorated. You know what's funny? They actually have very similar games. Are y'all familiar enough with Asia's game to be able to support
I know
that?
for a fact she's like one of the top players in the league, if not the top player in the league, and that is certainly not Bam.
Multiple time MVP.
Right, fair.
multiple-time champ.
Right.
But stylistically, interestingly enough, they both are two-way players who continue to add offensive to their game. Asia might be, you could depend on Asia more for offensive production, but they both lock down. They're both got good athleticism.
This feels like a gold.
This is a gold. Come on. Why are we
This
being
is
so
a
nice?
gold.
Why are we
Is that-
being so nice?
Which one is that
tonight?
again?
Oh.
Which one is that again?
Oh,
That's like the
wait,
one that's
Asia's better than Bam? I'll give that a gold. I'll
Okay,
give that a gold.
you know what?
Gold.
I think I'm going to tell everybody right now. You watch Good Follow on the DraftKings Network. She is great. Wednesdays, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. But in order to speed this up a little bit, okay, let's just make it good or gold, no context, okay?
Okay.
Becky Hammon will ultimately leave the Aces to be head coach of the Spurs. Good or gold?
Good.
Nafisa Collier.
Also, shout out to Mitch Johnson, Stanford University. We both played on the basketball programs, men's and women's at the same time. Shout out to Mitch Johnson, new head coach of the Spurs.
I was not expecting a shout out there. It gets in the way of my very vigorous good or gold. Nafisa Collier wins a title with the Lynx before she wins an unrivaled championship. Good or gold?
Gold.
Golden State will make the playoffs in their inaugural season.
Oh, good. No.
It's a weird game.
It's a bad game.
It's a bad game.
That means bad,
Bad
bad,
game.
good,
Bad game.
gold.
All right,
We
she's
failed
very
you.
good.
Did
We're
this.
very good. Look,
I am angry at who
No,
did
she's
this.
gold,
This is
Dan.
bad.
She's
This
gold.
this game was good.
She's gold.
Was this Billy? Was this a remnant from Wild Billy Wednesday?
It was Tony.
Who made this game?
Yes, who made excellent work by you, Ross. Thank you for being on with us. Good. This is disgusting.
Ross.
This is what game is this? What?
A bad
Everyone's
one.
a winner.
A good one.
A good one.
Yes, it's not a good one. It's not good.
Gold one.
Well, it's not gold. It's not a gold one. We know
Thank
that.
you.
Gold follow.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Ross.
guys. It was a pleasure.
Was it? Was it, though, with this game? Was it? We ruined it. Look, this woman is so much better than our games.
I am leaving here in a worse mood than I walked in with.
I-
Good mood.
No, guys, have a gold day.
Thank you.
Yeah, she gets the game. That's good. That's how you play the game.
If you got the game better, then maybe it would have worked. I don't know. But it's bad. Well, it's a good game.
Dan, we're still on
Good
air.
game.
Sabrina goes out as an all-time great this year. Good or gold?
Gold. Sabrina Ionescu, gold.
Pitch clock next. Welcome to the Pitch Clock. Here's the pitch. A two-part baseball segment.
Combining a nostalgic baseball trivia game and an interview with an expert.
This is the Pitch Clock.
Hey, fans of the Pitch Clock, there's another voice you're about to hear.
How, everybody?
There it is.
We're back.
Yeah.
Pitch Clock, we're here. It's another week of our baseball trivia coming at you with Taylor in just a second. We will then get to our baseball expert. But Taylor, it's me against Chris again. Why don't you tell us what our game is today?
Can we just address the elephant in the room first? The worst trivia we're coming off of last
Oh my
week.
God. I'm sorry. We embarrassed ourselves. We embarrassed our families. We embarrassed the name of the good people here at Meadowlark Media.
But we want to
we're
be
back.
honest. We want to be honest with the audience.
Yeah, and transparent.
If we're bad, we're going to show you the bad.
Yeah, and that was the bad. Hopefully this is the good. Taylor, what is our game today?
Big bounce back week. We're going back to a game we played a couple of weeks ago. Ball knower trivia. We'll alternate questions, and if you miss, the other person has a chance to steal. Highest score at the end wins. It's 5 rounds. 5 rounds of trivia.
All right, this sucks. Let's do it.
Jeremy, first question. After giving him a 9-year, $214 million contract, the Tigers traded Prince Fielder to this team after just 2 seasons.
The answer is the Texas Rangers.
That's 1 point. 1 point for Jeremy. Gets it correct.
All right, from the Brewers to the Tigers to the Rangers. How about that one?
Chris, your question first round. After giving him a 6-year, $106 million contract, the Marlins traded Jose Reyes to this team after just 1 season.
That's like the most scarring thing that's ever happened to us.
This guy knows good trivia. He knows how to ask the tough questions. Man, this is tough. I just really need to rack my brain about this.
God, I hate you.
Toronto Blue Jays.
It's 1-1 after 1.
Taylor, what is my second question?
In 2010, this team had an opening day lineup that included Juan Rivera, Bobby Abreu, and Hideki Matsui.
I mean,
you made that easy at the end.
Yeah. I think you made that easy, but it's the New York Yankees.
Incorrect.
No!
Chris Cody with the chance to
you
steal.
Jerk. You fully just led me into it, and I let you do it. I didn't even second guess myself simply because Chris was like, "Oh, easy one."
Man, Bobby Abreu. It just hit me. I know what it is. It's the Angels.
Chris gets the steal.
The series has started.
Chris Cody. In 2014, this team had an opening day lineup that included Michael Kadire, DJ LeMahieu, and Justin Morneau.
Colorado Rockies.
He sweeps the round.
Yeah.
3-1 after 2.
We are feeling it right now.
This is heartbreaking. The stakes are way too high for getting the question wrong. And now we get to our 2025 MLB expert. David Samson is here with me. We're actually both on Zoom, and I'm wearing glasses now, reading glasses, to show that time has passed. Nonetheless, David, I wanted to bring you in today because Rafael Devers signed a 10-year, $315 million contract with the Boston Red Sox in 2023 to extend in Boston as their third baseman at the time. That was a $313 million deal. This offseason, the Red Sox signed Alex Bregman to a deal, and to Devers' public dismay, Devers is moved to designated hitter from third base. He made public comments. He didn't want to move, but eventually acquiesced. He moved to the designated hitter position. Now, just now, after a historically slow start to the season, Devers was finally starting to heat up. But Red Sox first baseman Tristan Casas goes down to an injury, and with him being out for the year, Devers was now asked to potentially play first base for the Boston Red Sox, and this is where everything has gone awry because Devers publicly criticized the club for their decision-making, including Craig Breslow, the Sox chief baseball officer, who, by the way, was hired 10 months after Rafael Devers signed his extension in Boston with then-President Chaim Bloom. So, those comments from Devers included, quote, "I know I'm a ball player, but at the same time, they can't expect me to play every single position out there. In spring training, they talked to me and basically told me to put away my glove, that I wasn't going to play any other position but DH, so right now, I just feel like it's not an appropriate decision by them to ask me to play another position. And finally, I'm not certain what issue he has with me," Devers said of Breslow, who played 12 seasons in the majors himself. He played ball, and I would like to think that he knows that changing positions like that isn't easy. Your perspective comes from someone who worked as a president of business operations in Major League Baseball, where you have a deep investment in a player like Devers, And then you also have your president of baseball operations who you've hired to do this job. They're at odds. Have you ever experienced anything like this? And what is your perspective about where things stand in this incredibly complicated story between Boston and Rafael Devers?
My job was to try to understand when there was a disagreement, how I can solve the disagreement where both parties believe that they have not been wronged. And to do it, you really have to know the people and understand the underlying facts. Let's talk about Rafi. This is a guy who was signed, so everyone remembers, when the Red Sox did not keep Mookie Betts.
That's right.
And the Red Sox were finishing at the bottom after having won several World Series. The fan base was apoplectic. And what the fan base did, what the media did, is they said, hey, we've got this guy, Rafi Devers. He's our guy. You better pay him. And so what John Henry, the owner of the Red Sox, did is gave Devers a contract that the minute it was signed was going to be a problem because of the length and because of the size. What they could not have anticipated is what a selfish player Devers was going to become. The quotes that Devers gave were so bad that it forced the owner of the team to get on his jet and go to Kansas City and speak one-on-one to Devers and say, listen, what's going on here? For $313 million, if we want you to DH, if we want you to play first, third, if we want you to be the team trainer, you've got to be in like Flynn. You've got to represent our brand, our team. You've got to be the leader. You've got the money. You've got the talent. We've got to get the results to do it. You've got to be with us. And every one of Devers' quotes would indicate that not only was Devers not going to play ball, and I mean that pun intended, but that he was going to take everyone down with him. But his teammates didn't want any part of that. His teammates were very critical of what Devers said and what Devers was representing. And therefore, you go in as president and you say to Devers, I need you, forget the media, forget your quotes, forget the translator. I need you inside that clubhouse. I need you with your guys. Right. I need you making sure that you're all rowing the same direction to try to get us to the top of the American League East.
I just can't believe that the Red Sox didn't find a way to not have these quotes be the quotes that are floating around about their franchise from their star player. And there's a whole other conversation to be had about the fact that this all was done through a translator and how complicated that makes everything both in the locker room and out of the locker room. But it's time for us to end this part of this segment and move on. Now it's officially round 3. I'm down 3-1. Taylor, what's my question?
Before moving into Citizens Bank Park in 2004, the Philadelphia Phillies called this stadium home.
I don't even know if I'm gonna have a guess. I have nothing for the Philly Dome.
That's what I was gonna say. That's
The Philly Dome is incorrect.
Picture the Philly fanatic riding around on his little thing, but I don't know the name of it.
I got nothing.
It's Veterans Stadium, the Vet. Chris Cody, before moving into Target Field in 2010, the Minnesota Twins called this stadium home.
You know this one?
I can't remember. I can picture it.
I can picture it. Same boat as the last one. I don't remember. Before Target Field, they played at Clapper Field.
Clapper Field is incorrect. Jeremy with the chance to steal.
I don't have it. Taylor, tell me what it is so that I can get upset.
It's the Metrodome.
Oh, that one. That's obvious. That's on me.
Jeremy, in 2000, the Marlins drafted this 5-time All-Star first baseman, first overall, although he would never play a game for them.
Adrian Gonzalez.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
The guys know fish.
Yeah, we know our Marlins history.
I don't even, like...
In 1999, the Tampa Bay Rays would draft this 5-time All-Star outfielder, first overall, although he would never play a game for them.
Like, this guy, I feel like this guy played for them.
The only reason I knew Adrian Gonzalez was because it's Marlins history. There was no way I'm getting a question like this otherwise.
All-Star, never played for them.
I mean, just traded as a prospect, so...
I'll go Rocco Baldelli, but he played for them, right?
Famously.
Yes. I don't know. Yeah.
Andrew McCutchen.
It is not Andrew McCutchen. This player, drafted in 99, made his MLB debut 2007. Ran into some troubles. AL MVP.
Hamilton.
Josh Hamilton.
Damn it. David, the Rockies are historically bad. But this team, through 40 games, 7-33. That's the second worst record through 40 games in MLB history.
Listen, at some point you need better people choosing players, and that's the reality. I don't know how Bill Schmidt survives this. I think that firing Bud Black and Mike Redmond, our old friend Mike, that's not really the answer. You're going to have to do better drafting, better developing, better trades, better everything in order to get better players. We know that there can be winning teams in Colorado. We've seen it. Mm-hmm. And we know that there can be winning teams with bottom, 10 payrolls. We've seen it. And so they just have to do it. But I will say this about Colorado is I've got to believe they're up against something that you can't beat. And that is papal prayers. And I can only assume the Pope is praying the Rockies to lose 122 so no one talks about the White Sox anymore. And that is going to happen. So the Pope's prayers obviously get answered. And that is much to the chagrin of Rockies fans.
Hey, look, the first series that the Pope's White Sox played after he was named the Pope, they won 2 out of 3 against the Marlins, so they're headed the right direction with him in power. The visuals of him at the World Series in 2005 is just, it's absolutely mind-blowing. It's like a break in the simulation. David, this is where we're going to wrap with you. We've been focusing, I've been referring to this as a golden era in Major League Baseball in terms of stardom. I just think that there are so many superstars all around the league that it's almost difficult to be able to pay attention to all of them at once. And so I've been having our guests pick a star amongst a few that I can name to kind of highlight here. So over the last week, some of the ones that have stood out to me, you've got Shohei Ohtani. Obviously, at any time we could talk about Shohei, right. But his late inning heroics have been cool, and no one hits a late game home run in a cooler way than Shohei Ohtani. There's Pete Crow Armstrong in Chicago, who has just been spectacular.
Let's talk about him
on both sides of the ball. Well, and the last one I'll name will be Kyle Schwarber, who weirdly enough might be having the best season of his entire career in a contract year here in Phillies as they struggle. So Pete Crow Armstrong, it seems like he's the guy you want to focus on here. He's spectacular.
Here's the thing that he does well, everything.
It's amazing.
And he's doing it on a team now. He's got good protection. The Cubs are a fantastic offensive team. But don't forget, he's only 23 years old. But he's someone you should be watching. The Cubs team is a team that you should be watching in that, A, they're fun to watch, and B, even losing their best pitcher, which they lost to injury, Justin Steele, they have found a way, and it's early still, but it's getting later, but it is still early.
David, thank you for highlighting part of it here. I know we spent a lot of time on transaction stuff when it comes to Rafael Devers, but that's why we appreciate your expertise. Thank you very much, and now it is time to get back to the competition between myself and Chris.
The Rays' all-time strikeout leader is this pitcher who pitched 7 seasons with the franchise from 2006 to 2012.
I think it's Jamie Shields.
Does he have to say his name right to get it right?
James Shields.
Okay.
Locking it in?
You just gave me the answer if you're wrong.
I'm going to say it's James Shields, and I'm locking it in.
We're tied going into Chris Cody's question.
I thought it was James Shields. I knew it was James Shields. Woo. That's who I was thinking it was.
Okay, good.
You said
if he said Jamie Shields, I was not going to give it.
What did I say? No.
Are you kidding? Come on. All right. Also, let's Ethan get on it. At some point in his career, they called him Jamie Shields. I promise.
You're thinking of Jamie Moyer.
No, I'm not thinking of Jamie Moyer.
I shouldn't have said anything. You were
Why would I be thinking of Jamie Moyer? I know the difference between Jamie Moyer and James Shields.
How can you look
Jamie
up
Baseball Reference has Jamie listed as a nickname for James
Wow.
Shields.
Okay.
Let me see that. I don't believe it. All right, fine.
I hope you.
I didn't believe it either.
Jamie, I'm gonna call him.
I'm staring you. I'm right here. LeBron stare as you get this question.
The Brewers' all-time strikeout leader is this pitcher who pitched 8 seasons with the franchise from 2007 to 2014.
I mean, there's obviously like a famous pitcher for them that Boris had a certain way. Wait, was he traded from the
I don't know.
The Cleveland team to the
I don't know.
Brewers, or
Was he
traded from the Brewers to the
I'm not sure.
Cleveland team? Or
I
am
can't.
not
I
even
can't
thinking-
remember.
or am
I
not even
definitely
thinking of the right person.
I definitely can't remember.
Wait,
on that one.
I just thought of it. It's not that guy at all. It's not CC Sabathia.
It's not.
You want me to guess him, so you
CC
said
Sabathia
it's
is
not
obvious-
there.
it's
It's
know
Ben
what?
Sheets. Final answer.
Ben Sheets is incorrect. Jeremy with the chance to steal and win.
It's like the pressure of this is really making every player who ever played disappear in my brain.
Longest pitch clock ever.
Fun fact while we wait, Michael Brantley was a player to be named later in the CC Sabathia trade from the Guardians to the
Ethan
Brewers.
just distracted my line of thinking with a fun fact about Michael.
What the
Brantley.
hell was that?
Ethan, what am I thinking about? The Brewers pitchers from 2007 to 2014.
Helpful nugget.
Helpful nugget.
It's over. Just send us to overtime. Who was the pitcher?
The pitcher, Giovanni Gallardo.
No, I wasn't gonna get
Man,
that.
I remember he had a day though. He had a cup of coffee.
I mean, obviously.
Okay, so the tiebreaker. You guys are going to write down your guess. Whoever's closer to the actual number
Love it.
is the winner.
Love it.
Derek Jeter, regular season home runs.
I have my guess ready, but
You have it written down?
I have a number written
don't.
down.
I don't feel confident.
Yeah, I don't feel good about this.
Jeremy, you reveal your number first, and then I'll see how close it was.
Pen down. I have a number here. One number. There's another number clearly crossed out.
My number is 300.
287 is my guess.
287, Chris Cody. Jeremy, 300.
Yeah.
Two unbelievable guesses, all things considered. 260, Chris Cody.
Yeah! What a switch by me! What a switch! The gut. This thing's big. It said, "Hey,
Guys,
too many. You put too many."
At least after one of the worst games we've ever played last week, this was a thriller.
We are back, Taylor.
From game night to parties with friends or special anniversary, celebrating important occasions means more moments with the coolest people in your life. Cheers to 50 years of Miller Lite, the great tasting light beer for people who love beer since 1975. Now's a perfect time to celebrate legendary stories with friends, family, and a great tasting light beer. It's Miller time. When I think of Miller Lite, I think of me and my dad cheersing, watching a Marlins game, on a cruise together. We get the and the cheers. It's just, when I think of Miller Lite, I think of times with my dad, times with family and friends. It's the original light beer since 1975, still iconic 50 years later. Miller Lite, great taste, 96 calories. Go to MillerLite.com/Dan to find delivery options near you, or you can pick up some Miller Lite pretty much anywhere they sell beer. It's Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces.
All right, let's do some post-game show. Let's bring aboard Juju. Hello, Juju.
Hello, my brother Zaz. You feel me? How you doing?
$2.
Good to see you.
Yep, right away with the $2, Juju. All right, right away.
Juju,
Yeah,
was
dang
today's show good or gold? What'd you think?
Today show was gold.
All right, good.
That game, I don't know about the gold versus good was very confusing.
Juju,
but salute to Ros.
Are you a champion broadcaster?
Are you mocking me with wearing those rings? What's going on?
Yes, I am a two-time fan, a champion for the
champion
Celtics.
finalist?
Right. Two-time Super Bowl champion for the Eagles, fanchian, and also a one-time champion with the Florida Panthers. So got the rings to the brass to show it.
Yeah, you might add another to the collection after last night. So yesterday, vibes were different. We were mourning the loss of not just this season, but possibly the next season for the Boston Celtics. But you're repping your C's today, as you should. Gutty performance in TD Garden. Do you think, like I do, that, wait a second, this is actually shaping up quite well for Boston? We got the Kobe cosplayer out the way. We're letting Derek White flourish, and the weight of the world is on the shoulders of the New York Knicks, a franchise that has proven to be incapable to actually deal with those expectations. Are you back?
Yes, sir. I'm back. You feel me? David, saying $2. Derek White, the man of the hour. Like, take a bow. Like, with Jason Tatum off the floor, it really opens things up for everybody. You don't know how to game plan against that if you're the Knicks right now. The best game plan you got is, okay, let's just man up and just hopefully our defense is stronger. You can't game plan against a dribble between fadeaway jump shot. He's not out there anymore. So I feel like the Knicks are kind of in a little bit of trouble, especially if they don't take care of business on Friday.
Are you rehiring Joe Mazzulla?
Absolutely not. Get him out of here. I think he's the one holding us back because you can't see what happened in game 1 and 2 and not have a meeting amongst the team and say, hey, guys, next person to shoot a 3, you're coming to sit by me. They was doing too much. I see if you like during the game and you can shoot the 3s and we're up 20. But once they go on a 6-0 run, 8-0 run, all right, game plan different. We can trade 2s for 3s now, and we got a game plan that way. Horrible job by him.
Juju, we got some polls for today. What do we got going on? What are people saying?
Okay, we got some polls. I don't know if we're doing Thursday Thunder or not today.
Oh, good call, Juju. Let's do that right now. That's right. It's Thursday Thunder. We definitely didn't forget about it.
We were locked in.
And it's brought to you by DraftKings. DraftKings, the crown is yours. Let me get my thunder.
One day I needed you to be on that.
Great executive producing, though, by the way. Like, Dan is still wrong about that.
Damn right. Thank you, Juju. He's doing a great job back there. That's for sure.
Yes, sir.
Thanks, Dad.
Greg, you're doing a great job over there, by the way. You had your fastball on today.
you
Painted
were
in the black.
Came in hot.
Thank you.
Right. You were validated, too, Greg, with the question. You got Zaz today. I think the score is like Greg 5.
Got his
You
ass.
got his ass.
It's an Acme jewelry box. Come on.
Right.
The Robert
Chef's
Goulet
kiss.
and French being something that Boston people identify with, I had no idea. You were great. Good as gold.
Anytime we get to undercooked pork, it's a good show.
Is good as gold
No,
now
it's gold
bad
is
as gold?
gold.
Oh, shit.
Gold
I'm
is
so
gold.
confused by that game.
First leg, the Joker in an elimination game. I suspect and I expect he will come out firing on all cylinders. So I'm going over 27.5 points for Nikola Jokic.
Feels low. I like that one, Juju, over 27.5.
Hell yeah. And I'm sticking with the gold nuggets, baby. Aaron Gordon, his three-point shot has been needed and necessary in these clutch wins. Whenever Aaron Gordon scores over 20 points, the Nuggets succeed. And they may succeed tonight, so I'm going over Aaron Gordon three-pointers, 1.5. Over 1.5 three-pointers for Aaron Gordon.
Role players play better at home. Everybody knows that, Juju.
Yep. And last leg, I'm sticking with those Nuggets. Everybody has to have a good night. The Thunder are going to be outside letting it rain from all over. So Jamal Murray, the Canadian, going against his counterpart in Canada, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, he's going to need a big night as well. And he steps up in these playoffs. I think this is one of the nights he steps up as well. 21.5 points. Easy work for Jamal Murray. Over 21.5 points for Murray tonight.
All right. Feel like he gave us 3 winners.
Juju's got a
right
game
there.
7 going on right now. Nuggets win tonight. All of a sudden, game 7 over in Oklahoma City.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right.
And then the Thunder are in trouble because you don't want to get a champion backed into a corner, as the Knicks have found out recently.
What else you got
First
here, Juju? We got some polls?
Yes, sir. First poll. Is eye gouging the greatest of the fighting moves?
Has to be.
80% of the audience says yes, it is.
Yeah, I could see that.
Does oil last forever as long as you strain it? 54% of the audience says yes, it does, Greg.
Wow.
Thank you. A narrow victory.
Wow.
I'd like to thank my mother, my father, my aunt.
Nelly Doogie.
Thank
Sugar
you all.
diabetes.
Thank you, Nelly.
Right, the sugars. Last poll. Are Zaslow's rings made of foil? Dang it. I'm sorry, Zaz. 85% of the audience says yes, they
That
are.
is a disgrace.
You already ruled on this.
That is a disgrace.
Yes. With prejudice.
Yeah, everybody knows when you rule with prejudice, there are no peels. It's over.
Oh, wow.
Worthless poll.
By the way, soap will take
Good
off
poll.
that green on your finger. Don't worry about it.